Hello everyone and welcome to the iCode channel. Today I'm going to show you guys something really cool. I'm going to show you how to connect your Atari 5200 trackball to your computer and use it to play almost any game, including all the 5200 trackball games and much more, even the stick games. And you're going to wonder, how am I going to do that? And I'm going to show you, how that works with this little incredible device. I've got obviously the 5200 trackball here, and if you're familiar with the trackball, you've got the ball in the center, you've got a few buttons to start, pause, and reset games, and you've got left hand or right hand control. So if you're right-handed, you go this way. If you're left-handed, you go this way. So how will this work with this incredible device? This is called the iCode Dual Ultimate, and the Dual Ultimate is a universal adapter that allows you to work with almost any Atari, well, all the Atari controllers, whether it's a joystick, paddles, driving controllers, keypads, the Star Raiders keypad, touchpad, driving controllers, even supports other brands like ColecoVision, including the keypads, Sega Genesis 6-button or 3-button ones, Intellivision as well. It's got 2 ports, so you can have 2 players on it. And of course, it'll work with both the Atari trackball for the 2600 and now the 5200. So you might ask, how is it going to work with a 5200 trackball if the connections are only a 9-pin Atari 2600 looking ports? Well, you're right, because when you look at the Atari 5200 trackballs, the 5200 controller and the trackball both have 15-pin connectors. So the magic is that you can buy an accessory kit for the Dual Ultimate, and it's called the 5200 coupler accessory kit, and it gives you these 2 devices here. So basically what happens is you use the coupler, on one end it's got the 9-pin connectors. You just connect the 9-pin connectors and watch what happens when I connect them. The screen automatically changed from Atari 2600 trackballs to 5200 trackballs. So it immediately recognizes it for you, and now you can connect your Atari Handheld Controller, the joystick, with dual buttons, or you can connect the trackball. I'm in trackball mode now. That's why it's asking me to connect the trackball. Let me zoom in so you can see the screen here. But you can see, the trackball's there, and now as soon as I connect this, it's going to quickly auto-calibrate. Here, a little blue thing came up, calibrate it, and it's ready to go. So that's really all I needed to do, and now this thing is ready to roll. And there's 2 different couplers. One has 2 players on it, and this way, basically everything works. You can use both controllers to trackballs, but the only thing that doesn't work is the keypad. The keypad works with this single controller. So if you put this one in, where it puts a single trackball in, or a single joystick, because that has the 15 pins, it has to use extra pins here, and then that'll activate the keypad also, and all those buttons can be mapped using a single one. But when you buy the kit, you get both of them, so you can swap them in and out depending on what you're trying to play, and if you need the keypad or not. But for the games I'm going to show you today, you're not going to really need the keypad, so I'm going to show you how this works. So I'm going to put this aside here. It's connected, and now I'm going to show you how it actually operates. So I'm going to go ahead and go out in here, and basically there's 2 ways to configure these devices. You can configure it through the little screen here, and there's a menu button. You push the menu button, and there's all the options in here that you can control. You can switch modes from trackball to joystick to driving. You can control sensitivity, acceleration, resolution, what buttons are mapped to, all kinds of configurations. Every configuration can be done on the screen. But there's a much better way. iCode now has what we call the iCode Hub, And you notice here on my background, I've got the my Chrome browser open, and with Chrome you just go to icodehub.icode.com, and you press the connect button here. Let me move this to the right, and you'll see. So normally when you go in, this will all be blank. You just push connect. Make sure you've got your adapter connected to your USB port. Click connect, and it'll ask you if it's okay to connect to your USB device. Just click on it and say connect, and it'll come up, and you're now in full configuration mode. So what's nice about the device is you've got a lot of different preset configurations that ships with the product. So it's pretty much ready to go. But if you want to make fine tuning, you can go to each of these different presets and configure different ones for different things. For example, this preset is for trackball. This one's for driving controller as a mouse. This one's for Atari keypad. This one's for Star Raiders combo with keypad and joystick at the same time. So you'll notice the little icons show that information. But for this demonstration, we're going to start first with just a basic trackball. So you'll notice on slot 0, I've got it connected as Atari. It's my trackball, and it's emulating a left analog stick. And I've disabled mouse. That's why mouse is in orange here, because with the Atari games, it wants to understand it as a gamepad. If I was playing with Mammy Asteroids, Mammy Missile Command, Mammy would want to see it as mouse. Then I would use this one, Trackball Games, as mouse, and the mouse would be activated. In fact, let me just show you. So as soon as I click this, now notice when I move this, now my mouse is moving, right? So this one is in mouse mode. And you can have mouse and gamepad mode at the same time. But right now I've got it as buttons only, so it's mouse plus buttons. But you can change that to be not just buttons only. So this works as a mouse. And then I'm going to go ahead and click this one, which is now mouse doesn't move the mouse, but it moves the gamepad. So if I'm going to do a live test here to just show you. So here you can see if I move the ball, my position is moving up and down and left and right. So it's like it's acting like the stick on the gamepad, and it's an analog stick. So it's moving left and right that way. And that's how Atari games want to see that, especially most emulators, which I'm going to show you, use that. So let me go ahead and switch to an emulator. Here I've got the Windows emulator called Altera. Altera is one of the best emulators that I like because it gives you the most flexibility for 5200 and it's easy to configure. You can use other emulators if you're using RetroArch or with the different cores. You can do that. Stella is possible. There's other emulators, but I really like Altera because it's really easy to configure. So what I did is I went ahead and booted Missile Command. So just pick Missile Command. This is the 5200 version of Missile Command. Click OK, and Missile Command comes. I'll show you the configuration in a minute. Let me just make sure it's working. I'm going to go push start. So notice, it works, wonderfully. So now, I can play Missile Command with trackball and move left all the way to the left and the right, almost pretty much immediately. So really nice, and all the sensitivity can be controlled through the iCode hub that I showed you. So that's really so cool. I'm going to go ahead and put some blanket of. Okay, so you get a sense, I can move back and forth really quick and stop and move. I mean, you cannot do this without a joystick. So it is so much nicer to play this game with a trackball. So that's one example. Let's look at another example. I'm going to go ahead and show you other games that you would say, oh, Super Breakout, that's a paddles game. Sure, you can connect paddles if you want to this device, but it's also fun to play with trackball. So let me show you. So I'm going to go ahead and push start. And notice now I can move the paddle with my trackball. So very precise. I can get really high scores actually with this way, and it's very addictive and plays really well. And I can go move left and right so quickly. It's amazing. And if you're wondering, yes, you can play Arkanoid on Mammy, and turn the mouse mode on, and you'll get the similar type of a feel on MAME games and arcade games like Arkanoid, Breakout, and so on. So I'm going to go ahead and pause or let the ball go here, and go to the next game real quick so you get a better feel. Now I'm going to switch to Millipede. Actually, let me switch to Millipede, but I'm going to show you another. Actually, you know what, guys? Let's switch to something really different. I'm going to switch to Asteroids. You're like, oh my gosh, Asteroids? Asteroids is not a trackball game, but you know what? I actually got my highest score playing with a trackball. And to do that, there's a really cool feature in the Duo, which is called auto centering. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to this preset where I've already configured it, but basically it's the same as the other one. But all I've done is I've changed this auto center feature from off to very fast. And I also turned up acceleration to very high so that when I move, it goes all the way to the right and all the way to the left very quickly. So these two combinations give you really interesting settings. So let me just show you in the live test mode what it looks like. So now when I move the trackball, notice it comes back to the middle. It doesn't do what it was doing before where it was staying in different places. Now it comes back to the center. So as long as I'm going around, it's going around. And then you can control the speed of how quickly it comes back to the center. But very fast works really well in most games. So what that translates to is, now let's switch to the game. So I'm going to switch to Asteroids here, and I'm going to push start. So notice, now I can, play, with a trackball, and I can get such precision, with playing with a trackball. It's actually quite amazing. So I'm going to show you guys a little bit. Let me just play a little one round. See how I got it out of the way? Very nice. So I can just, cruise along. I can turn on my shields by going backwards. It's really fun to play this way. So it works quite well. And, I've made it very sensitive. So if I move the ball just a little bit, it's moving the ship, and it works just really incredibly well. So this is just one quick example. Let me just first kill this. Saucer got me. Okay, so let me show you another quick example. So how about Gyros? This is a really good game, but it's even better with a trackball. So I'm going to go push start. And notice now I can move with the trackball, and I can go all the way around, to the top, and I can come back to the bottom. I mean, it's so much fun to play with a trackball. So it's almost like I got another brand new game. So that's a good example. Let me show you Millipede, because Millipede is quite, it's typically a trackball game. But let me just show you how quickly, even with the in stick mode, it works just as well. So I'm going to go ahead and push that. So notice here we go. So I'm moving with trackball. I can move to the left and right, and it works really well. I forgot you can hold down the fire button on this, and there's auto fire, by the way, rapid fire as well, settings in the Duo. So yeah, it works very nicely. Get this guy. Okay. He got me. Alright, so you got the feeling on that one. And let's see here. Oh, Zari Arena. This is a really good one for trackball. So this is, I think, a homebrew game. But notice, like, now you've got a three-dimensional paddle. So with this one, it's so much nicer to, I can quickly go down here, go up there, and all this. And this is really fun with two players. If you get two of these trackballs together and play two-player action, one person on the right, one person on the left, it is so much fun to play, guys. This is one of my favorites in terms of trackball games, and it's really fun to play. All right, let's push reset here, or pause. There we go, pause. Okay, I think I've shown you guys quite a bit today. Let's see here. Anyone of them I missed? Of course, Joust is another good one that plays well with trackball that I like. But I think it gives you an idea of how this dual adapter works. So, it's a little Marvel device, but there's also something really cool in here. Now I've got my trackball connected, right? So I'm gonna go ahead back to here. I'm going to show you something cool. I'm going to zoom in. Let me just show you my zoomed in look. There we go. Camera zoomed in. There we go. So I'm going to go to the menu, and I'm going to show you. I don't know, it's a little bit difficult to see with the glare. I apologize, but I think you'll get the idea. I'm going to go down to mini games. Under mini games, there's 3 built-in games on this device, and this games automatically synchronize your high scores with the internet on iCode Hub, and you can compete. And once a month, I take the highest score, and they get a special gift from iCode. So just if you get some time, play these 3 games. Let me just show you quickly. Like, here's Iron Dome. Iron Dome is a missile command clone. So notice now oops, I moved my hand away. It's hard to see, but you can see I can play missile command with the trackball, with the 5200 trackball, or you can play with a little toggle here. But really fun to play. So this is it was fun to build this game. This is a good example. Let me show you the other game. So this one is Brick Bash. Brick Bash, tell me what you think this game is. Okay, recognize it? So here we got, with the trackball again, I can, move left and right and play, it's an Arkanoid type game. Right? So that's another cool one. And then finally, there's a third one here called Jaw Crusher. Anybody can guess what that one is? This is a Pac-Man style game, and a lot of fun to play. You can play with the stick or this little bit, and and there's a Easter egg, so check out the release notes and see if you can uncover the Easter egg in this game, and it gives you some cool stuff happening in the game. So anyway, there's a lot more to this game and device. So hopefully this was useful, and I'm really excited that we added the Atari controllers to this collection, the 5200. You do need to update if you have this device. The kit, when you buy the 5200 coupler kit, which is, let me zoom out again. These 2 devices come in a kit. They're only like 20 bucks, less than 20 bucks, 19 something. And if you buy it at the same time that you buy the Duo Ultimate, you get these for half the price. So it's worth the 10 bucks or 9 bucks to get these, and it'll really make a difference. But if you already own this device, make sure you update to firmware 2.0 on iCode Hub. You can do that right from iCode Hub from the your right here under your account. If you go down to firmware history, you'll be able to see the version 2.0, and you can install it. You can read the notes, as I mentioned, and then you can install it right from here, and it'll go ahead and ask you to. It'll download it, and it'll reboot your device, and then you point to the device, which is going to be your RP2350. So you just select it, and you say allow, and it's going to go ahead and start flashing the device for you. It takes about 2-3 minutes, but it's going to flash, and you'll have the latest version of the firmware. So it's pretty easy to update as well. So so do that, and then get the coupler, and leave comments in the video below, and if there's any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and have a great day. Take care.